sings that. The jazz singer. No, it's like the movie. He sings that one.
Okay, I'll have to watch that.
Barbara Streisand has a version of that. I mean, it's just like the most classic version. And there are zillions of versions.
How do you see it? Oh, there we go. There's Jamie in his office?
People wanted to add notes, you
And I
know.
feel like, I mean, not maybe this year because I'm playing record, but
Right,
just
right, right.
like ornamentation and stuff.
Exactly.
And another thing I was noticing is, because I know that this is transcribed to be like in 4/4, but it's not really supposed to be like
No,
getting
no.
into
Keep it loose.
right.
Loose, loose.
Because
Yeah.
I noticed that like the downbeat kind of shifts with the measure in these transcriptions.
Right.
Like so I was just like, I'm sure that's like a it's just trying to
Right.
capture some of that.
I just gotta put this back. Okay, I will be sorry if I don't tomorrow. Um,
That answers my question. I was just curious. I
oh,
wonder if Sherry would ever like to talk about that.
so I think this is the organizer. This can go away. And one.
Oh. What is
This. All right, I want to meet your parents. This is fun. Drop some of this down. Your
It's safer here. Thank you.
what I'm saying?
They're gathering in the sanctuary.
Oh, Stacy's on it. A lot of people. You're not ready yet.
If you haven't grabbed a talit and you'd like one, tonight would be a good night to try one out. And I think I saw somebody bringing the rack over. There's some extras somewhere.
I have one.
Page 773. This whole service, this entree to the service is itself a ritual of release. Releasing ourselves from vows made in the past year that were unkept. And releasing, as another form of releasing, is forgiveness. Giving over the ways we've been harmed, the ways we've been offended, and letting go. Let's read together. Master of the world, I now forgive all who have angered me or sinned against me, whether through my body, my possessions, my honor, or anything that is mine, whether by accident or by intention, knowingly and unknowingly, word or deed. Let no one be punished on my account. My God, and the God of my ancestors, may it be your will that I sin no more, and that I not again do what is evil in your sight. In your great mercy, wipe away my sins without requiring my suffering. May the words of my mouth and the longing of my heart be acceptable to you, the listener, my rock, my redeemer. So we have a memorial candle to light and the holiday candles to light. And I neglected to put in my outline if somebody had signed up to do that. Did anybody who's here want to light one of them? Especially someone, if you've lost someone this year, this is the Yizkor candle. You'd like to light candles tonight? Great. Seth, come on up. Thank you. Page 687, 688. You want to light the candles too? The other ones. Yeah. You'll light those for your mom. So we light a candle in memory of all of our loved ones, and may their memories be for a blessing. It's in memory of also the soldiers of the IDF and all those who lost their lives in the Holocaust. May their memories be for a blessing. And we offer the blessing for the candles of Yom Kippurim, page 688. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Kippurim. And the only time of year where we don a talit in the evening, if you want to do the blessing with me on page 690. Let's rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehit atef b'tzitzit. I'll need 2 volunteers to open the ark and hold the Torah scrolls as we convene our court, a representation of the heavenly court here in our own midst. Susie, Iris, thank you. Bishiva Shel Mala, page 692. Bishiva Shel Mata, Adata Makom, Adata Lakal, Anu Matirin Lipalel, Imavayani. So in the tradition of reciting Kol Nidre 3 times, so we had Angie play it beautifully on the cello. Now we will we'll read it together on page 697, followed by Laura Berman chanting the Kol Nidre. Together, page 697. All the vows on our lips, the burdens in our hearts, the pent-up regrets, about which we brooded and spoke through prayers without end on last Atonement Day, did not change our way of life, did not bring us in the year that has gone. From mountain peaks of fervor we fell to common ways at the close of the fast. Will you hear our regret? Will you open our prison? Release us from shackles of habit? Will you answer our prayers? Forgive our wrongs, though we sin again and again. In moments of weakness, we do not remember the promises of Atonement Day. Look past forgetfulness. Take only from our hearts. Forgive us, pardon us. Page 694.
Kol Nidre Vesare Ushibue Veharame Vekonome Kinuse Kinuye Dinda Miyom Kippurim Sevar Ad Yom Kippurim Zehabaleinu Litova Kuhori Charatna Vehon Kuhor Yehoshua Sheviki Shevitin Batelin Umutali Lashin Valkalamim Nidre Vesala la esare Ushbuatala la shevu Islam.
סלח נא לעוונם הזה, כגודל חסדך, כאשר נשבעת לעם הזה, ממצרים עד הנה, ושם נאמר, ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך, ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך, ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך. שהחיינו. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. You may be seated.
Can you hear my voice?
to friends. Good morning. Good evening. Good morning. We can say either all day. This is a beautiful sight. You are a beautiful sight. On Zoom, your names. You can put your videos on. I can see you'll be even more beautiful. Wow. So this room hasn't been full like this, right, for Nidre in 3 years. So thank you for filling this sanctuary as it is meant to be filled with imperfect souls. Coming together to let go of last year's shortcomings and try again with newly articulated commitments to come together even better than before. We set this night and day aside every year with haunting melodies, words probing and poetic, diverse collection of souls gathered in a sacred place for sacred purpose. We make this day a high holy day of wonderment and atonement, a Shabbat, Shabbaton, by realigning personally and collectively with our deepest truths, uniting with one another by giving voice once again to those profound truths through the evolving prayers and songs of our ancestors, these prayers, many going back centuries, even millennia. This day is made holy by us being here together in silence, speech, and song. There is nothing quite like the sound of sacred community. Preparing to declare these profound truths, we have a phrase, a 6-word phrase that we say. We call it the Shema, a command to listen and love. And there's a tradition of preparing ourselves for the Shema by gathering the fringes of your talit, of your prayer shawl. Take your time. Sometimes they're hard to find, those elusive fringes. And think about with each one, what are you really taking on, taking in, bringing together tonight to make this a new year, really a new year. We offer the Shema and the whispered apology without having to whisper it today. Shema's on page 713.
Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Yehavta et.
Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you
So we make a intentional practice out of gathering our tzitzit and letting them go. Anything you still need to let go before we can sing a song of freedom, a song our ancestors sang, the sea of reeds, witnessing plagues and destruction, calamities, and still finding the strength to sing and to dance. Mi chamocha.
Mi chamocha banim Adonai, mi chamocha
728.
kodesh,
Nora tehilot osefem. Malchutecha rauvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe zeili anu ve'ameru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gai
Israel. Shkirenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. Amideinu malkeinu
Among the wisdom embedded in the traditional liturgy is that in this communal space that we create space for silence and solitude. And that's one of the functions, I think, of the Talit too. So shortly we will rise and we'll offer some entree melodies that we all can sing, and then hold some silence before we offer our annual collective confessional, our vidui. Are you ready? Please rise. You can find the prayer on page 739 or transliterated on 388.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hanora Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol
וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו יעלה.
זורנו לחיים, מלך החפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר, יושיע מגן, אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני רב ויושיע. מי כמוך? את יום הכיפורים הזה, למחילה ולסליחה, ולכבודה ולכבוד בו, את כל עוונותינו. Ya'aseh shalom. Let us make peace. And Ya'aleh tachanunenu. Let us lift up our prayers. Please join me on page 781. We'll read responsively by stanza. May our prayers rise at evening hour, and may our cry come forth from the dawn, and may our song be pleasing throughout the day. Together.
May our voices
Rise at evening hour, and may our merit come forth from the dawn, and may our prayer redeem us through the day. May our searching rise at evening hour, and may our plea for pardon come at dawn, and may our sigh reach you through the day.
May refuge
Rise at evening hour, and may it come for your sake with the dawn.
and may your torment reach us through the day.
May salvation rise at evening hour, and may our cleansing come forth with the dawn, and may we plead for grace throughout the day.
May sin rise at evening hour,
And may confession come forth with the dawn.
and may our glory break out through the day.
May urgent prayer rise here at evening hour, and may rejoicing come forth with the dawn, and may our plea be heard throughout the day. May our weeping rise at evening hour,
and may it come forth to you through the dawn, and
may you find favor. We long for transformation as we cast our voices upward on the wings of the day. Words pile on words, creating a ladder ascending to the heart of prayer. The 13 divine attributes, the midot, we chant on this day, reminding God of who God is. That's the chutzpah of we Jews. Page 800. Continue with our vidui on page 820.
Bye.
Izavnu, Latznu, Maranu, Niatznu, Saranu, Avinu, Pashanu, Tsaranu, Kisinu Oren, Yai bye 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 bye, Yai bye 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 bye, Yai bye 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 bye. Rashanu, Shechatnu, Te'avnu, Ta'inu, Te'itanu, Yai bye bye, Yai bye 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 bye, Yai bye 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 bye. We're going to turn right to Al-Chet on page 827 and 828. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, in the closing of the heart. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, without knowing what we do. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, whether open or concealed. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, knowingly and by deceit. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, through the prompting of the heart. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, through the influence of others. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, whether by intention or mistake. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, by the hand of violence. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, through our foolishness of speech. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, through an evil inclination. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, in the palming of a bribe. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, through expressions of contempt. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, through misuse of food and drink. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, by our avarice and greed. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, through offensive gaze. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, through a condescending glance. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, by our quick... No, I didn't. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, by deception of a friend. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, by unwillingness to change. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, by our running to embrace an evil act. Al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, by our groundless hatred. Ve'al-Chet shechatanu lefanecha, in the giving of false pledge. You may be seated. There's this notion in Jewish tradition that it's like a version of karma, but more like pollution, that our mistakes somehow ease into the ground and get into the air and make us sick. My blood cries out to you from the earth, says the brother of Cain. We're going to offer a prayer for healing. And it's linked to this prayer, this confessional that we just offered. The ways we make each other sick. So if you have a name to include, especially on Zoom, please do put it in the chat, and we'll try to name those we know to pray for. Iris Solomon, Don Greenberg, Nathan Zellner, Albert Greenberg, Lori Feldstein, Ron Kleban, Tammy Kleban, Joan Seiler, Kathy Kaiser, Nate Feinberg, David Desch, Howard Weinberg, Charlotte Weissman, and all those on the Florida, Jane Weinfeld, Judy Sherman, Robin Chalker, Mike Schneider, Nancy Friedman, Marty Diesenhoff, Steve Bernstein, Leslie Maines, Adam Brass, Renee Lordich, Mike Glade, Susan Levin, Lawrence Fox, Angela Fitzgerald, Edward Cohen, Adam Jordani. Carol Hinson, Elizabeth Patterson, Elaine Reiner, Brett Bartlett, Terry Noonan, Francis Williams, Jackie Rosenblum, Ron Moore, Kenny Rosenblum, Xenia Baker, Joey Defoe, Roxy Wyman, David Spielberg, Tom Johnson, Steve and Susan Kay, Judith Orloff, Danny Schneider. May those we've named, and those we hold in our hearts, and those we don't know to name, be granted a refuah shlema.
Hear our prayer.
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 Hear our prayer. Bless us as well.
We'll rise and offer the Avinu Malkeinu and turn inward a bit. Please rise.
Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim.
Gesundheit. Jack, you may be seated. What were they saying about hiccups? What were you saying the other day about hiccups?
Wasn't me.
Wasn't you?
Maybe it was, and I don't remember.
Releasing something that needs to be released. This is the theme. Oh, you guys, there's nothing quite like the sound of sacred community. Beautiful music, Sherry, and Laura, thank you. And I must say, you're looking pretty good too. In the hopes of elevating our souls today, we, like the Kohanim before us, the priests of old, looks like we dressed for the occasion. Not the usual way we dress up, not with fancy finery or colorful costumes or leather shoes or snazzy suits. How does one dress for Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement? Wait, clothing? Ha, I'm guessing nobody here thought the rabbi was going to talk about clothing on Kol Nidre. Well, it's good to know I can still surprise you after 17 Kol Nidre sermons. But yeah, I'm going to talk about clothes. Don't you just love Beth Evergreen's dress code? Some of you are saying, wait, what dress code? And the veterans are saying, exactly. Except maybe tonight. Many of us, at least tonight, kind of go traditional. Though dubbed the holiest night of the year, today tradition calls me to wear simple fare, to dress in something I might wear to a funeral. Well, to my funeral. Only a bride wears white at her wedding, and only the deceased wears white at their funeral. Tonight is also one of a kind. It's the only night of the year when a talit, a talis, the prayer shawl, is worn after sundown. The talis, with its fringes or tassels on each of its four corners, is typically only worn during daylight hours when you can see the tzitzit, the fringes. It's tempting to forget about the fringes, the carefully wound and tied knots representing our mitzvot, our responsibilities, our commitments, all the vows, kol nidre, that we make to ourselves, to one another, to God and the world. The pledged commitments, the mitzvot, these strings we attach to our clothes, they define us as they remind us of our commitments to one another. Tonight on Kol Nidre, we don't wait until daybreak to don the talit. At the onset of the day, described as neither day nor night, we rise and wrap ourselves in our commitments, our promises, those fulfilled and unfulfilled. We cloak ourselves in a combination of humility and pride, like the continental divide covering itself in clouds. I've been thinking about the talit in the context of this theme of letting go, of rituals of release, and its corollary, gathering in. I mentioned earlier in the service this practice of gathering in the tzitzit, all four sets of strings together before we say the Shema, and then releasing them before we sing the song of freedom, the Mi Chamocha. Gathering in and letting go. To fringes. It's another letting go, daily practice, and an ingathering practice. And here tonight, as we do this annual reassembling of our community, let us also recollect our core values. Call them noble truths or agreements or elements or worlds. I'd like to suggest four ways, four commitments that enable us to weave this communal tapestry together. One commitment for each corner of the talit, with built-in reminders to wrap around your finger. Four corners, four sets of strings, four commitments that we'll need after letting go to gather in again. You ready? Corner string number one, compassion. When we gather with the empathy and vulnerability of compassion, we create a place of safety and peace. Compassion. Corner string number two is curiosity. When we enter this space with curiosity, we create a community of truth seekers. Corner string number three, commitment. And here, we commit to modeling and restoring justice and equity, bringing the fringes front and center, leveling the playing field. Commitment to justice. And corner string number four, celebration. Celebration that honors individuality and diversity, that paradoxically celebrates the power of solitude together. Sacred celebration. So in case you're not wearing this stringy scarf thing, or simply not a visual learner, you may have noticed that the four corners are also all begin with the letter C. To help you remember, compassion, curiosity, commitment, and celebration. So let's gather them in one at a time. Corner string number one, compassion. This is a sanctuary, whether you're here physically or virtually. It's your sanctuary. It's a refuge from the storms of uncertainty in life. When we enter this space with compassion, which literally means shared pain, with our imperfections, with our open and vulnerable heart, we make it a sanctuary. The broken shards of the stone tablets, the Ten Commandments, were placed in the ark with the second set, in the Holy of Holies, under a kaporet, a cover with angel wings and two faces turned toward one another. The kaporet, the kapara, this atoning cover, this day of Kippur is not about cover-up. It's about offering cover, shelter from the storms of life. It's about covering our bases for baseball fans. Compassion is our kaf, the divine palm that protected Moses on the cleft of the cliff face. Like the kippah that covers the bald spot I didn't have to shave. Like the parah, the bull, and the parochet, the screen through which and behind which Aaron atoned for himself and his household and his community. Also a bunch of C or kaf words. Kaporet, kippur, kaf, kippah, para, parochet. All of these Hebrew words share the same set of Hebrew letters. And when they come together, they provide us with cloud cover, a safe space, a sanctuary. With compassion, the first string in hand, Beth Evergreen continues to be a safe place to struggle and cry and grieve and feel lost and alone, and in so doing to remember that we are not alone. We're not the only ones naked and afraid under these coverings behind the warm smiles. With my right hand, an empty, open-hearted hand of chesed, I reach out to you as if to say, we've both been shaken. Join me. Place your palm in mine, and let us seek consolation, comfort, and peace together. Dorshe Shalom, peace seekers. We gather in this space first and foremost with the strings, invoking Aaron and the ashes of the golden calf and the shards of the broken tablets, and join the CB Mitzvah Committee and the Chevra Kadisha in preparing meals of consolation and offering rides, in sitting with and washing recently deceased bodies, in opening our homes to guests on the fringes with compassion. That's the first string. Corner string number 2, curiosity. It's a great word. Try say it. Curiosity, yeah. We begin with compassion, the solid ground of being and listening and feeling. We say, Shamati, I hear you. And then we move slowly into the ether of ideas towards maybe a fix, towards a collective response for sure. And we do that with curiosity. T.H. White wrote in his classic, The Once and Future King, the best thing for being sad, replied Merlin to Arthur, is to learn something. This is the only thing that never fails. You may grow old and trembling in your anatomies. You may lie awake at night listening to the disorder of your veins. You may see the world around you devastated by evil lunatics, or know your honor trampled in the sewers of baser minds. There is only one thing for it then: to learn. That is the only thing which the mind can never exhaust, never alienate, never be tortured by, never fear or distrust, never dream of regretting. Learning is the thing for you. That could have been my whole sermon. Just let Merlin do it for me. But look, curiosity in the context of community engages us in devastating stuff, in disorder in our veins, in hard conversations about the things that matter most. It forces us to confront challenging truths like our mortality. When we enter this sanctuary, the first thing we do is pass by the art site wall and see names and lights of our loved ones lit up. And at the close of every service, we say Kaddish with the mourners. These rituals remind us to live into the profound paradoxes of life and death. In a community of truth like Beth Evergreen, with curiosity, Parker Palmer suggests, struggle and death can be experienced as our teachers in the ongoing life of the community rather than as a failure in the life of the individual, which is how our culture portrays them. This is no small thing. It's a countercultural gem that may save us from ourselves. Unlike compassion, curiosity is not usually comforting. It's often uncomfortable. The quest for truth is anything but static, like the wind and the clouds and love. It's a complex and eternal dance of intimacy and distance, of knowing and not knowing. Like the talit and the kittel, clothes resembling white burial shrouds worn by the living, like clouds drifting just out of reach in the distant sky, the search for truth calls us into a curious dance with a partner that is at once so very close and so far away. Abraham Joshua Heschel put it this way: it's within our reach, but beyond our grasp. Where else in our modern world can we fast and face our misdeeds and certain demise and have the difficult conversations as an integral part of a celebration of life, which is what this is today? And that's why curiosity is the second of our corner strings. The programmers are gifted at getting us curious about and hooked into the next video or meme on the TikTok or YouTube or social media feed. And there's a lot in there if you're looking for entertainment and answers, but I'm not sure the core questions and profound truths that matter most are among them. Palmer continues, the hallmark of a community of truth is not psychological intimacy, or even political civility, or pragmatic accountability, though it does not exclude those virtues. The hallmark of the community of truth is in its claim that reality is a web of communal relationships, and we can know reality only by being in community with it ourselves. We can know reality only by being in community with it. As Dorsey Emmet, as truth seekers, as learners, we let go of all the excuses and we gather a second set of fringes in the left hand. And we think of Arthur and Merlin, or Sarah and Abraham setting forth on a new journey without knowing the destination. Or Justin, who addressed you last week, or Sarah, who will speak tomorrow. And like them, we commit in learning and teaching something new with someone new this year. We sign up for Torah study or taboo topics or Musar or book club sessions here. Or better yet, we commit to discerning the truth with discipline and having difficult conversations about things that matter together with curiosity. Corner string number 3. I'm up to 3, right? Thank you. Keep me on. Commitment. Interwoven with a commitment to bring compassion and curiosity, we remember Hillel's second challenge. If we are not If we are only for ourselves, what are we? And with the third set of strings, we commit ourselves again tonight to justice and equity for everyone. We commit ourselves to speaking out and protesting peacefully and volunteering locally and, of course, voting and being engaged with the wider world. This set of strings will be our focus tomorrow morning, God willing. For now, as Dorshet Tzedek, as human beings committed to justice, we gather in the third fringe and think of Moses and commit to being the change we want to see in the world, to fighting to restore reproductive rights and voting rights, racial and economic justice, environmental justice, supporting Ukraine, supporting young protesters in Iran, standing with the LGBTQ community, and public educators and honest poll workers who are on the front lines of defending American democracy from so-called Christian nationalism that betrays both biblical values and constitutional principles. As Dorshet Tzedek, as justice seekers, rather than letting go, we harness our righteous anger for the sake of justice and equity at home and abroad with renewed commitment. Strings 1, 2, and 3 are in hand. And when we gather in anew this coming year, let us bring this trio of offerings: compassion and curiosity and a commitment to justice as Dorshet Shalom, Emet, and Tzedek. And the final string, can you remember? Oh, good. Celebration, joy. And here I want to offer a specific definition of sacred celebration, a definition that goes beyond the happy jumping jacks and push-ups that my family does when the Buffalo Bills score a touchdown. I'm talking about sacred celebrations when we come together to honor and celebrate individuality and diversity and cooperation more than competition. The celebrations of spiritual community like this one offer a kind of fun that elevates and rejoices in the slow and often solitary work of the inner life. But it's not easy. How do you do a simcha, a celebration that embraces the fact that the human self remains a mystery of enfolded inwardness that no other person can possibly enter or know? To fully honor this distance, the remoteness, the solitude of every individual, would that not cast a cloud over the party? What you do and what you think and feel underneath your talit, that is a world unto itself. Like you, like each cloud in the sky, it is beautiful and unique and constantly changing and worthy of celebration. Herein lies the beautiful paradox of sacred communal celebration. It, like worshipers wearing a talit, recognizes that, as Palmer so eloquently puts it, solitude split off from community becomes loneliness. And community split off from solitude becomes a crowd, an alien buzz of too many people and too much noise. It's the oscillation between these two poles of the I and the we that gives cause for deep celebration. Like when a shy young teen steps up onto this bema and chants from our communal Torah and our communal congregational prayer book and teaches us a unique Torah and how they pray or why they don't. And in such celebrations, we get a glimpse of another person's inner life, and we are all the richer for it. Here's one more Parker Palmer quote that these days seems all the more poignant. Many people know nothing of the rich dialectic of solitude and community. They know only the daily whiplash between loneliness and the crowd. They only know the whiplash between loneliness and the crowd. Boy, doesn't that explain a whole lot of what we're seeing in the world? Sacred celebrations like our Bonei Mitzvah services, or namings and weddings, or creative musical Shabbatot, with these and with this, we offer a soul-saving and potentially democracy-saving alternative to that whiplash between loneliness and the crowd. As Dietrich Bonhoeffer mused, let the person who cannot be alone beware of community, and let the person who is not in community beware of being alone. Communal celebrations of an individual's inner life. This is the profound paradox we embrace when we don a talit, when we gather together the 4 sets of fringes and prepare to sing, listen, Shema, it's all one, it's all one. Compassion, curiosity, commitment, and celebration. 4 strings gathered together from the 4 corners of this great communal tapestry to confront the hard truths we have to face about our souls, our families, our democracy, our world, and to have hard conversations and try to repair the damages of our collective wrongdoings. These are the 4 elements we'll need to do all of that. And may the strings in our hands resonate together with the kind of harmony and beauty that Angie's cello sings with. In closing, I'd like to add one more tidbit about the tallis. The biblical verses that command us to place fringes on our 4-cornered garments include a curious detail. Each of the corners, literally the wings of the garment, is to be, we're supposed to attach a patil tichelet, a thread, a single thread among the strings to be dyed the color of tichelet, the color of the sky. What a beautiful image. The fringes representing our commitment, our 4 commitments to compassion, curiosity, justice, and joy. These strings of attachment and knots of obligation, they're also the feathers upon the wings that enable us to soar into the open Techelet blue sky among the clouds and bridge the divide between Yeshiva Shel Mata and Yeshiva Shel Mala, the earthly and the heavenly courts. So too may we soar freely this year through both sides of clouds and love and life on the 4 wings of compassion, curiosity, commitment, and celebration. Gemar Chatima Tova. painted ponies go up and down.
And the seasons, they go round and round. And the
Painted
ponies go up and down.
they go
And the
round
seasons, they
and
go
round.
round and round. The painted ponies go up and down. The seasons, they go round and round. And the painted ponies
they
go
go
up
round
and down. And the seasons, they go round and round.
Round and round.
Painted ponies go
Painted
up and down.
ponies go.
The seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down.
If you haven't met Lori Wallowitz, you're in for a treat. She's fabulous, and she's in her second year as the president of the Beth Evergreen Board of Directors.
Those were two of my favorite songs. Wow. Yom Kippur lessons to live by. Can you hear me okay? Is this? Every minute, someone leaves this world behind. We are all in the line without knowing it. We never know how many people are before us. We cannot move to the back of the line. We cannot step out of the line. We cannot avoid the line. So while we wait in the line, make moments count. Make priorities. Make the time. Make your gifts known. Make a nobody feel like a somebody. Make your voice heard. Make small things big. Make someone smile. Make the change. Make love, make up, make peace. Make sure to tell your people they are loved. Make sure to have no regrets. Make sure you are ready. A friend of mine posted that on Facebook this morning. I'm not sure if she wrote it or who did, but I know that I wanted to share it with you tonight. You know what I like about the high holidays? We all come together. It doesn't matter how observant you are throughout the rest of the year. On Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, everyone shows up, and I love being a part of us. For me, showing up on these holy days prioritizes my connection to Judaism. I take a pause from my way too busy life, and I acknowledge my Jewish heritage. And I think about what being Jewish means to me. And I'll tell you, doing that with each of you, rather than alone in my own thoughts, is quite nice. Those that know me know that I connect through a shared experience of being Jewish, rather than the act of being Jewish. And my very deep connection to CBE continues to boggle my mind. After 15 years of membership, I still marvel at how CBE has completely upended the box I had put myself in with regard to religion. And for those who heard Helen's words on Rosh Hashanah, you will understand the box reference. Helen challenged us to be involved in CBE in ways that take us out of our comfortable boxes. I often wonder, why CBE? What makes this congregation different from the others I've belonged to? Many things. Rabbi Jamie, for sure, and so much more. The music, the wonder of wildlife and nature, multiple ways to explore spirituality, hiking, skiing, and biking, yoga, and teen groups, Musar, and especially the friends I have made that have spanned generations. I am sure that you all could add even more to this list. Yes, CBE is special. And from the stories I have heard over the years, we have been a special place ever since our humble beginnings in 1974. I suspect that we always will be. Whether you live in Evergreen or someplace else in the metro area or beyond, as CBE members, we are all Mountain Jews. And I like that identity. We are not your parents' or your grandparents' shul, and that, I believe, is our secret sauce and what differentiates us from other more traditional synagogues. By the way, did you pick up on the CBE trivia answer? Yes, CBE began in 1974. Stay tuned for more information about all the ways we will be celebrating our 50th Golden Jubilee anniversary in 2024, and that is not too long from now. Unlike other board members who have welcomed and shared a bit of themselves with you during these high holiday messages, I have a dual purpose. Beyond welcoming you, my job tonight is to introduce you to our annual Holly Holiday Appeal and paint a picture through words that will inspire you to examine your own commitment and connection to CBE with the hope that you will participate and invest in this year's appeal. Let's talk about our space and place, our building and our new amphitheater, and the environment that surrounds those two places. I don't know about you, but I feel differently about structures that I have watched and participated in their being built. You know what I mean, right? I didn't think I was alone in these thoughts, and so last week at our Rosh Hashanah lunch, I talked with some of our founding members who were around in the early 2000s when our building was built. They talked about what a gift it was to come together to raise the needed funds and watch our building, their dreams, come to life. Beyond spaces, they also shared stories about people, specifically the people who are currently filling our spaces. On more than one occasion, I heard longtime CBEers talk about the current state of our congregation with such joy. The fact that so many of our current members do not live in the mountains and are choosing to make the drive up the hill, across the canyon, and by the internet, which I don't know where I was going to point to you all, and by the internet, to be part of this community just adds to our richness. CBE is a happening place. We are a happening community, and that is wonderful. I next talked to others about the construction of our open sky amphitheater, and they shared how cool it was to watch the different stages of that project. Again, there was a connection between the birth of a space and the people using that space. I know that we all did not see this building being built, and we all did not see the construction of the amphitheater. But now, we all have an opportunity to be a part of phase 2 of our amphitheater project by contributing to the beautification and the fortification of our open sky amphitheater and its surroundings through landscaping and xeriscaping. Our vision is to plant trees and ground cover that will provide protection and shade, plant shrubs that will fortify our perimeter and improve our privacy. In addition to improving the overall visual appeal of the space around the open sky amphitheater, it will improve the sustainability of all our outdoor spaces. When we are finished, together we will watch the space fill in and change over time and know that we all had a part of making that happen. And so, I invite you to join me and our board in donating to this year's High Holiday Appeal and investing in the improvements of our spiritual home. We hope to raise $55,000 for this project. Perhaps you received a pledge card as you came in, and they will be available as you exit this evening. I hope you will use that as a reminder and either pledge from the card, or you can go online. We have the Give tab on our website, and if you click on that and click on the High Holiday Appeal button, you will be able to donate through that as well. Our hope is to start on the outdoor project in the spring. We are hoping to have everyone participate this year at whatever level you are comfortable. And once this project is complete, we get to watch these plants firmly take roots and watch them grow and expand, and know that we had a role in making that happen. I wish you all a meaningful holiday. Gemar Chitama Tova. That's the part I struggle with. Thank you.
Lori, point of clarification, is that $55,000 per person, or is that collective? Okay. Yeah. As you know, 55 miles an hour is no longer the speed limit. We could, That's right. No, thank you. It's really amazing. And if you haven't been in this amphitheater, this is one of the vows we fulfilled from last year. Last year, we stood up here, asked for support in raising the money, and had a generous matching. We asked for $50,000, and we got $75,000 last year. So we can even do better than that this year. And we have a beautiful amphitheater. It's going to be gorgeous. So, yeah, thank you, Lori. And I think I'm supposed to do the concluding prayers here and let Luke make some announcements. It's hard because we're having fun. Or I'm having fun. But let's try. Page 1207 in the prayer book. We have a short reading, and then we'll do Aleinu and Kaddish, and then a blessing. 1207. It is up to us to hallow creation, to respond to life and death with the fullness of our lives. It is up to us to meet the world, to embrace the whole even as we wrestle with its parts. It is up to us to repair the world and to bind our lives to truth. Let's rise together and read together. Therefore, we bend the knee and shake off the stiffness that keeps us from the subtle graces of life and the supple gestures of love. With reverence and thanksgiving, we accept our destiny and set for ourselves the task of redemption. We use the refrain, Ein Od, there's no other day like today or community like this one. Ein Od. Page 1202.
Kakatu betoratecha Adonai lo leolam ba'em v'nema v'haya Adonai v'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad shemo echad
Well, I took my celebration seriously, I guess. You may be seated. Mourner's Kaddish. It's on page 1215. Tonight we are standing with and extending condolences to all families who have lost loved ones recently. We mourn with Charlie, the son of his stepson, the death of his stepson, John Westby Olson. We remember Leonard Estrin, Donna Aguero, Elaine Siegel, Takao Nagai, Mabel Alfonso, Nestor Aguero, Lila Grob, Arnold Sheldon, Isaac Fox, Janet Lehman and Ronald Lehman, Bob Davis, Libby Colacello, Jane Conrad, Tony Haas, Sarah Alpern Nissen, and Maureen Spiegelman. And we have some yard sites that we're aware of. Martin Berman, Herbert Schneider, Simon Friedman, Marty Orens, Dorothy Weiss, Barbara Lehner, Harvey Schneider, Coleman Judah Bukadran, Barbara Lockwood, Burma Smith, Robert Smith, Sophie Buckley, Herman Levine, and Shirley Katz. Other names to include? Richard Scala and Valen Primek. If you're in mourning or recalling the anniversary of a death at the yard site, or it's your custom to stand for those who have known to say Kaddish for them, please do rise with me, and we'll say Kaddish, page 1215 and 1216. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yom echon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May there be comfort, truly comfort for those in mourning, those of us in mourning, and peace to us, for Israel and all who dwell on earth. And let us together say, amen. Amen. You may be seated, and Luke's going to share some announcements. I think there may be a few things happening tomorrow.
Happening tomorrow, next week.
Shana Tova. Good to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling perfectly imperfect today. So there, Yom Kippur. Yeah, well, thank you. It's also wonderful to see so many new faces over all the holidays. We just keep on having people show up, and I say, "Who are you?" And they say, "We just found this place," and that is amazing. So as the rabbi mentioned, we have a number of events happening for Yom Kippur Day tomorrow, starting at 8:30 a.m. So we'll do another outdoor service in the morning. It'll be a little more contemplative. If you were here earlier, it got kind of cold, so this will be warming us back up. And then at 10 a.m. we'll have our indoor service here. At noon, we do a contemplative hike around Elk Meadow. This will be led by Helen Hutchins, one of our board members. She's in the back right now. It's a wonderful, opportunity to kind of go inward and be in nature as well. Then at 3 p.m., we have two options. We'll have gentle yoga happening in the social hall, as well as a little bit of Torah study with the rabbi here in the sanctuary. At 4 p.m., we have a family service. So if you have young ones or know people with young ones in their family, from 4 to 5, we'll have a family service. And then at 5 p.m., we will do our Yizkor and Ne'ilah services. Following services, we do offer break the fasts. We have community members who open up their homes to us. So we actually have three congregants who are doing that this year. And they're kind of spread out in different areas. So Diane Bukatman and Bert Rankins will be they're the Idledale. So if you're headed back to Denver, you can join them. We have Steve Horowitz in Maryland, did I write this down? In Morrison, in Conifer, and then Iris and Ron Solomon in Morrison. There are sign-up sheets for all the Break the Fasts in the atrium, and they're different colored sheets, so if you want to sign up, you can do that there. And then this coming weekend, we have a few more things. The holidays are not over, or at least, the high holidays are, but we have Sukkot coming up. So Sukkot, we will be building our sukkah on Sunday at 11 a.m. and we'll have pizza provided. So if you want to bring some hammers and tools and build a sukkah with us and then eat some pizza in it, that is happening on Sunday. I also wanted to make a couple of notices. So in the atrium, we have a food drive going on. This is for Jewish Family Services. Every year we collect food here, and Jewish Family Services picks it up and brings it to those in need. So I have a sheet on a whiteboard out there that describes all the foods that you can bring, and you can bring foods up to October 12th. So you have some time if you want to bring some. We also have, through Jewish Colorado, we got a notice asking for donations to help support Ukrainian Jews right now. And so I have put on another whiteboard, as you walk out, you'll see it. There's a QR code on a pamphlet. If you want to make donations to that cause, you can do that as well. And I just want to end with some gratitude. First of all, thank you all for being here and joining us this evening. Thank you to our staff and to our rabbi, especially Elizabeth Moore and our newest staff member, Sarah Hess. They did a lot. Sarah had to clean up some trash this morning, and we have had toilet issues, so that's part of part of being imperfect at a synagogue, right? So thank you to them and to Rabbi Jamie, to our musicians. Thank you so much for joining us and filling our sanctuary with beautiful, beautiful music. We have Paul on the bass. Okay, thank you. Alan Adenoff, Angie Foster, Laura and Sherry, of course, our music director. Thank you, and Rabbi Jamie. And our AV team, thank you so much. They make all of this possible, help our Zoom people join us as well. That James and Alexis and Helen also helps with that. Our board of directors, thank you, Lori, for all the work that you do for us, and any other our board members here. Can't remember right now. Those are all my thank yous. That's what I have to say. Gemar Chatzima Tova to you all.
We also have a tradition, we call it the Alchet paper slips. On the back table, there are pencils and half sheets of paper with the chance to write down our regrets from the past year and our commitments or our hopes for the future of what we are trying to do differently. And we collect them in the box. You just put them in the box, anonymous, of course. And at the end of Yom Kippur, at the Nidre service, they get read aloud as we come up before the ark. It's a really touching, powerful place, and then immediately after we close the ark and we do Havdalah, and we go outside and we burn them safely with a trained fire marshal in the mix, so we close this evening with a blessing to one another. So I think Elizabeth will probably put it up where we'll do the Hebrew traditional priestly blessing, the Birkat Kohanim, and intersperse it with the English. And you can just turn to somebody next to you and use the second person pronoun instead of the third person or plural here. Give a blessing, receive a blessing. security. Together. May the light, the source of light, shine graciously upon you and gracefully through you. No? English? All right, let's do the English. May the Holy One, reflected in your face, elevate you and grant you peace.
Perfectly imperfect. V'yasem lecha shalom. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yi'sa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. V'yasem lecha shalom. V'yasem lecha
Should just have Angie keep playing and we'll all just stay and well, we'll see you, God willing, in the morning, and Gemar Chatima Tova, friends. Thank you again. Please do stop by the El Chet table.